In this tutorial, I'm going to show you the multiple ways to use the Google Drive products in my Teachers Pay Teachers store. Over the next few minutes, I will show you how to make a copy of the product, 2 ways to share the product with students, how to create a forced copy link, and how to add the product to your Google Classroom. Let's start with making a copy of the product. When you purchase a Google Drive product from my store, you are given a link to it. When you click on the link, a new tab in your browser will open with the following screen. You need to click on Make a Copy. The copy that is created will be saved in your Google Drive. The copy will open on a new tab in your browser and you should rename it. Then you can either edit it and prepare it for now or save it for later. If you plan to save it for later, you can close the tab. To find it when you're ready to work on it, log into your Drive and find it on the main page under Files. You can also create different folders depending on how you organize your information. Now let's talk about sharing the product with your students. There are several options for sharing the product. The method for sharing it depends on how you plan to use it. The easiest way to share it with your students and grade or see their work is through Google Classroom, but you can also print the product or share it through a link. If you plan to print the product, make the changes, if any, that you'd like to make, and then either click the printer button or File Print. You can then use it as a paper handout with your students. To share it through a link, you can simply click on Share in the upper right-hand corner. Select the permissions that you would like the students to have when using the product. You can set it so that they can view it. This might be good for a handout. You can also set permissions so that they can edit or comment on it. Keep in mind that when you share the document this way, you are sharing the same document to all students. This means that if you set it for them to edit or comment on, they are all editing the same document. If you'd like them to each have their own copy so they can work independently, you need to create a forced copy link or share it through Google Classroom. We'll talk about both these options in a few seconds. Once you decide on permissions, you can type in each student's email address. If your school uses Google Apps, the students' email addresses should populate as you begin to type each name. Click Done, and an email will be sent to the students with a link to the document. This works well if you're only sharing the product with a few students. If you teach secondary and have several blocks or periods, this could be very time-consuming. Another way to share is to, in the same pop-up, click on Get Shareable Link. Again, use the drop-down to select the permissions you'd like the students to have. Then copy the link. You can then share the link with your students through an email. Again, this option works well if you're just sharing with a few students. Now, if you'd like to share the product with students so they each have their own individual copy of the product, you need to open the product and look in the address bar. Look for the word Edit. In a document, it usually appears at the end. If it's a slideshow or a form, it usually appears somewhere in the middle. Change that word Edit to Copy. Then, highlight and copy the new address to your document. Paste this link in an email and send it to your students. With this link, the students will see a screen just like the one you saw when you first clicked on the link. A copy of the product will be made for each student. The copy will be saved in the student's Drive, and they can then share the completed or finished assignment with you for grading. Each student will have their own individual copy, and anything they type on it, only they will see, and you if they share it with you. The most efficient way to use my Google App products is through Google Classroom. This will allow you to share the product and even grade it easily. Open your Google Classroom and click on Classwork. Then add an assignment by clicking on Create. You can add the product as an assignment or as material. It depends on how you plan to use it. For example, one product includes a document of questions to help students summarize. This might be added as material because the students do not need to submit anything to use it. The questions are just a resource. However, a graphic organizer should be submitted as an assignment. After selecting the assignment, add a title, instructions, points. You can even make it ungraded if you'd like, and add a due date. To add the product, click on the Google Drive icon. Select the product from your Drive and attach it to the assignment. You can now select how you'd like the students to use it. You can have students just view the file. The other options are for students to edit the file or to make a copy for each student. If you'd like students to work together as a class and edit the same document, you need to select Students Can Edit File. If you would like each student to get a copy of the document and work independently, you need to select Make a Copy for each student. When done, click on Assign. The lesson and product will then appear in your Google Classroom, and you can arrange it under topics or however you set up your classroom. I hope that this quick tutorial provided guidance on the best practices for using Google App products.